And I can see a few more people have joined, so welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Kevin, as the name on on the screen suggests. And today we're going to be doing some meditation. So I'll introduce this session. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got here, what got me to meditation, and then we're really going to be spending a lot of time today meditating. As I've said a number of times, it's a very short session. It's only half an hour, so it will fly. It'll go very, very quickly. And before we meditate, I want to make sure that people are really well set up for the practice and that you understand the technique nicely. And having said that, I'm going to be guiding you through it all. So this is perfect. If you're in a place where you have a regular meditation practice, great. If you're in a place where you used to meditate and you want to get back into it, great. If you're in a place where people have been telling you that you need to meditate and you don't know why they keep telling you that, then then that was me as well. And you're in a great place. And if you're in a place where you're like, I'm not even so sure about this meditation thing, but I'll just give it a go and see, then you're also in a good place. So really, whatever space you arrived in is totally, totally fine. And it's also good to good to see some familiar faces on the session. So how I got here was, as I said, I'll tell you about how I got here. We'll debunk some key misconceptions about the meditation. I'll set you up powerfully for the practice. We'll do the practice. I'll give you a little takeaway, and then you'll feel great this afternoon. So how I got here, I did not grow up meditating. My parents were not sort of hippies from back in back in the 70s. Well, maybe there's actually at least one person on this session that knows my parents, so I better not say too much. But I grew up in a regular old Sydney household, went to uni, did all my studies, and somewhere along the line during the course of working quite an intense job, I started to develop anxiety. And it was a crushing sensation that would be right about here in the pit of my, in this middle of my chest. And sometimes it would be mild and simmering, and other times it would be very intense. Like the first time I had a panic attack, I thought I was having a heart attack. That was what I was experiencing. And then I also suffered from chronic nightmares, really, really violent dreams that kept me awake about 4 nights a week. You know, like in the movies, how the character would be lying in bed and then all of a sudden they'd wake up like gasping. That was me. I would wake up like that regularly. I would wake up in a complete pool of sweat. And on the outside, to cut a long story short, on the outside, my life was going like this. I had a great job. I had a good career. I was an industry expert in what I was doing, you know, blah, 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 captain of the rugby club, all the rest of it. And under here, I just felt like I was going downhill. I felt like I was having a very average, living in a very average experience of life. And the more successful I got out there, the less I felt it in here. And I was doing something like that. And that is essentially what brought me to meditation. I didn't believe it would work. It took my wife 2 years to convince me to meditate. I thought it was hippie nonsense. I thought it was for people that didn't shower. I didn't think it was for people that were well educated, had master's degrees like me, and blah, 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 blah. I reluctantly tried meditation, and 3 weeks later, the symptoms of that somatic anxiety that I used to experience was completely gone, and I haven't had a nightmare since about 3 weeks after starting to meditate, many, many years now. And I don't say that because I'm not suggesting that meditation's a replace for any professional medical intervention or psychological intervention. I'm just simply giving you my story. That's how it happened for me, and my life really started improving. So that's the setup for this session, and essentially it led me to start an organization called Centered Meditation that was aimed at helping people like me, regular urban dwellers that wanted to experience the benefits of meditation and didn't want to necessarily attach it to any organized spirituality or any religious thing, I just wanted to present the practice in a very easy, very accessible way, and that has led me to work with tens of thousands of people over the last few years, doing just that. So I tell my story not because I think it's particularly fascinating. I tell my story because it's very relevant, because everyone experiences this in their life to some degree, shape or another. And rather than boring you with the statistics and all the scientific studies that have done on meditation, because there are literally thousands of them, and many of them have very good, high quality research on the benefits of meditation, I thought that I would share that story with you, rather to put you on a good footing for what the practice can essentially give you. And before I go into what that practice can give you, in fact, no, I'm going to go into what that practice can give you. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time to meditate. But in next week's session, I'm going to relate it back to stress. We're going to have a real good, solid discussion, and I want to just transform and reframe this notion of stress, and really show you how meditation can be of incredible use for it. So that's that. Now I want to open it up, and if you're able to go into the chat feature, then that would be great. But I'd love to hear from anyone who would like to put into the chat box an answer to this question. Have you tried meditating before and found it difficult? And if so, why? Or have you not even tried meditating because you've thought it would be difficult? And if so, why? So those are the questions. So feel free to just type away. And it's always interesting to see what people come up with. So if you've tried meditation, but have found it just too difficult, or if you haven't even tried it because you thought it's too difficult, I want to know why, or what about that's difficult. All right. So there's someone's just responded. I've never tried meditating, find it sometimes difficult. And why? Why is it difficult? What's hard about meditation? Monkey mind, yes, thank you. I've tried but found my mind wandered way too much, and then I gave up. Yeah, this is perfect. Keep that stuff coming. Haven't tried. You thought it'd be difficult to focus. Yeah, of course, to not be distracted. Found it difficult because you're time poor. There's always something more important to do. Completely. Yeah, you get sleepy. All of these things are excellent, and a couple of them they all fall into a couple of categories. One, and the categories. And some people, thank you, have tried it. And it works really well. Yeah, it is definitely hard to develop a habit. But what I want to focus in on is this notion of trying to control the monkey mind, as one participant put it so beautifully, or trying to push thoughts away, or try to stop the mind from thinking, all of that realm. And that's really just not necessary for meditation. There are some styles of meditation that are very difficult to do, very, very intensely concentrative, but this is not one of them. So the technique that I'm going to show you is effortless based meditation. It is super easy to do. It is highly effective as per a solid research base, and it can be very, very enjoyable. And what's more is that it doesn't require you to push thoughts away, to stop thoughts from arising, or to turn the mind off, or somehow achieve some state of bliss during the meditation. So that should be really reassuring for a lot of people. And I'm continually going to repeat this. We don't need to push thoughts away, stop thoughts from arising, control the mind, achieve any state of bliss. All of the results that count will be experienced outside of meditation. We don't really matter what happens during meditation. So that being said, and this is like a crash course in effortless meditation, I'm going to share with you my flywheel for how to meditate effortlessly. So I'm sharing my screen now with you. Let me just find where I am sharing, where is it? Okay, here it is. So you will all have seen this, you could all now see this, it says the process, and there's a big flywheel that says resting, roaming, realizing, returning. This is the process. So the first thing I want you to understand is that meditation, effortless meditation at least, which is what we're doing, is a process to go through. It's not a place to get to. Anywhere you are in the process is perfect. The process has 4 components to it, 4 phases that you might find yourself in. And I'm going to be guiding you through this. So it's not necessary to memorize this or learn it or anything like this. I want to make 2 points. The first one is resting. We rest our awareness on an anchor point. So for many people that have meditated before, that's your breath, for example. So we meditate on the breath. That's the anchor point that we rest our awareness on. It could be my voice, it could be a sound, it could be anything really. And we will use a body scan today, we'll use some breathing. But what's really important is that you're not trying to concentrate or focus. There's no focus, no concentration here. It's an easy, effortless resting your awareness on my voice in a lazy, sloppy, easy, effortless way. You can even hear the quality of my voice. That's the quality of awareness or attention that I want you to bring. It's completely the opposite to the way you get results in almost everything else in your life. Because how do we get results in our life usually? Effort, determination, struggle, try and don't succeed and try again. This effortless meditation is the complete opposite to that. So I want you to just take what you would think would make it really successful and do the complete opposite. Lazy, sloppy, easy, effortless. Now it is so lazy, so sloppy, so easy, and so effortless that after not long of resting your awareness, let's say on your breath, your mind will wander away. It goes into this roaming phase. And that's exactly what it's meant to do. So many people think that this is a mistake, that somehow we failed at meditation because our minds roamed away, or that we need to catch the mind while it's roaming and bring it back. No, you don't need to catch the mind while it's roaming and bring it back. The mind will wander, it will roam, and that's exactly part of the process. We don't mind at all. And it will roam until such point in which you have a spontaneous realization. And this happens all the time. For me, it's when my wife's talking and then all of a sudden I say, what did she just say? And I realize that 5 or 6 minutes has passed. Now, I exaggerate and I joke, but this is what's going to happen during the meditation. All of a sudden, you're going to have this realization that, oh, what did he just say? What am I doing? Where was my mind? That's exactly what's meant to happen. Again, you've done nothing wrong. It's all part of the process. And at that point, all you do is you easily and effortlessly return your awareness back to resting on that anchor point, whether it's your breath or my voice. It'll be very obvious because I'm going to be guiding you through it. So this is the process. This is the flywheel of effortless meditation. And the result is that it's easy and enjoyable and effective. So we're not trying to push thoughts away, not trying to stop the mind from thinking, not trying to control the mind, not trying to catch the mind while it's roaming away, nothing like that. So that being said, let's get ourselves nice and comfortable. I'm going to take you through a meditation. And it is really important here that comfort takes precedence over anything else. So there's no need to have a rigid upright back, not at all. You can be seated with your back supported. In fact, I would encourage people to have their back supported, really, really important. So have your back supported unless you are very well practiced in sitting unsupported. So back supported, your shoulders can sink a little bit. If you're wearing glasses, you don't need them anymore. You can just take them off and put them somewhere where you can find them again. Make sure that your phones are all on silent, that there's no vibration on them, that even if you have screens near you or email notifications turned on, that you turn them off. And if you have a screen near you, like a phone, just flip it upside down so that no one can, you can't, you're not even tempted to look down at it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just close your eyes whenever you're ready. And by the way, if at any time you need to open your eyes, you need to scratch an itch, or you need to adjust your posture, you're very welcome to do that. There's nothing rigid about this at all. So closing your eyes whenever you're ready. And then the first thing you'll probably notice as you close your eyes is you'll probably notice sounds that exist in your environment. Or you might even notice, if it's very quiet, you might even notice the absence of sounds in your environment. But that's probably one of the first things that you'll notice as you close your eyes. One of the first things you'll also probably notice as you close your eyes is you'll notice that there's some thoughts going on inside of your mind. Or you might have sensations in your body. And any sounds that are outside the room or inside your room, you can just allow them to be there. There's no need to change them. Any thoughts going through your mind, you can also allow them to be there. There's no need to change them. any sensations going through your body. It might be emotions, it might be discomfort or pain. You can just allow that to be there as well. And then rather than trying to change any experience that you're having, rather than trying to get to some state of bliss, all I invite you to do is pick up a belly breath. And how we belly breathe is we use our diaphragm, the big breathing muscle just underneath our rib cage. And we start to breathe using the diaphragm, almost like you're gently pulling the air down into the base of your lungs. And as you do so, your belly will gently rise with each inhale. And as you breathe out in your own time, of course, your belly will gently fall with each exhale. Now, breathing in your own time, never to the point of discomfort, never holding the breath, never straining, just nice, easy breaths through your nose, if that works for you. You might even wish to place a hand on your belly, and then feeling the feedback as your belly gently rises with each inhale and gently falls with each exhale. And your chest should be remaining relatively still for this. It's all right if there's a little bit of movement through your chest, but for the most part, it's the belly gently rising on the inhale, falling on the exhale. And as you do so, as you breathe this way, what you're actually doing, without even realizing, is you're helping to talk to your autonomic nervous system, the part of the nervous system responsible for that rest and digest response. And it's sending your body to a higher state of calm. It's reducing your blood pressure, improving the digestive functioning. Really just communicating to your body, letting it know that everything's okay in this moment. This belly breathing you can even use outside of the meditation practice. And it's working regardless of how many thoughts you're having. Thoughts really are not a good indicator of how good or bad a meditation is. The only results that count are those results that you experience outside of meditation in your everyday life. And all you're doing is following this simple, effortless process, which is as easy as resting your awareness on the anchor point of the meditation, that being your belly breath right now, or my voice at any time. Your mind will wander, that's what minds do. That's no problem at all. And then at some point, you'll just have the spontaneous realization that the mind had completely wandered away. And then you'll just easily and effortlessly return back to your breath or back to my voice. You're always doing all of that without trying to push away any thoughts, without trying to control the mind. So that being said, just returning your breath to a normal, comfortable breath, however that's going to look for you. And then we'll just briefly go through our body, scanning our body with our minds, releasing any built up tension in the process. So starting up at your face, and just allowing your forehead, your eyebrows, your jaw to gently soften. Now, it's not really important if you don't feel a softening, if you don't feel a release. There's certainly no need to try and force anything. And then moving down to your neck, your shoulders, just allowing your shoulders to sink away from your ears. And then on your next inhale, I invite you to imagine yourself gathering up any remnants of tension, or imagine yourself gathering up any remnants of tension with that breath in. And then with your breath out, imagining all that tension dissipating, your shoulders sinking a little bit further away from your ears. And then allowing your awareness just to drift down into your belly. And on your next inhale, imagining yourself once more gathering up any remnants of tension with a full, steady breath into your belly, feeling your belly rise as you breathe in. And then letting it all go on a complete and cleansing exhale, the belly sinking a little further into the back of your chair. And then just allowing your awareness to continue to drift down your body, landing down in your feet, allowing your soles to rest into the floor, your toes nice and loose. And then very gently, just bringing your awareness to rest on your breath. Allowing your awareness to rest on any part of your breath that may feel prevalent. So some might notice the breath at the tip of your nose. For others, you might feel the rise and fall of your belly. Or you might just have a faint or vague idea of your breath somewhere in your body or even inside of your mind. It need only be a very lazy, easy, effortless awareness of the breath. And the breath is just the anchor point, the place to come back to when you remember that your mind had completely wandered away. But knowing that the mind wandering away is totally natural, totally integral to the practice. And as you go through this process, not resisting anything at all, not even resisting sleep. Your breath is just that place to return to, but only when you remember, never forcing anything, never trying to push thoughts away, never stopping any thoughts from arising. No concentration and no focus. And very gently, just letting go of your breath, letting go of any anchor points, and just allowing yourself to sit or lie down in a comfortable position with your eyes closed as you just rest, just for a minute or two, allowing the effects of the meditation to sink in. This is a really integral part of the practice. There's nothing really to do here other than just to sit and rest. Keep your eyes closed and allow the mind to do whatever it needs to do. No more process to take it through. And I'll be keeping the time to just continue to rest. And just slowly, still keeping your eyes closed, beginning to deepen your breath. In your own time, only if you're ready, starting to bring some movement to your fingers, your toes. If you need a stretch and twist, you should go for that. And from this place, just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. Just noticing how you're feeling inside of your body. Does your body feel a little more relaxed? Noticing what happened to your breathing as well. Does your breathing either feel a little bit softer, a little calmer? Or do you notice that during the meditation, the breathing slowed down or felt a little softer or calmer? And then noticing how you're feeling inside of your mind. Are you feeling a little calmer, a little more centered? And if the answer is yes to any of that, then you've definitely been meditating correctly. And there's absolutely no rush to do so, but when you are ready, very slowly opening your eyes. And those questions that I asked you will appear on the screen. I'm sharing them with you. Those two about the breathing becoming quieter and softer and about the body feeling more relaxed. Any of those two, if you experience that during the meditation, or even now, if you have that experience, then I'm certain that you've been meditating correctly. The mind will gradually then settle down over time. And as I said, where you'll notice that the most is outside of the meditation practice in your own time, in your own day. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you was that that belly breathing that we did at the beginning of the session, really, really powerful. You can do that at any time, even without meditating. You can literally just go into that belly breathing where we breathe with our diaphragm, gently take the air in, feel the belly rise with the inhale, fall with the exhale, and that's an excellent way to calm the nervous system. So those are the things that I wanted to leave you with. Just take a moment to guess how long that meditation was without looking at the time. Yeah, well, the meditation was, I think it was 16 minutes in the end, actually. It was maybe 15, I'd have to check, but 15 or 16 minutes. If it felt much shorter, then yes, another sign that you're meditating correctly. So that brings us to the end of the session. It's been an absolute pleasure. If anyone has anything they want to share or ask, I'm going to put my email address in there. Secondly, I'm going to stick around after this session. So if there's anyone that wants to ask some questions, I don't need to leave right away. Thirdly, we've got 3 more sessions that have been scheduled in. They're all themed. So next week we're going to talk about stress specifically, and I want to give you some stuff around that. And then in our last 2 sessions, we're going to be talking about a loss of freedom and dealing with that from a mindset perspective, and then also thriving through uncertainty. Again, from a mindset perspective. So all very relevant topics that I do a lot of work in. All right. Well, amazing. In that case, I will just say, I will say goodbye and love and leave you all. And yeah, really, really appreciate it again.